Ah, okay, here we go. Alright. Bear with me as I try and find the share button. Or do you know my YouTube already or no? Do you know my oh there it is. Do you know my YouTube yet or no? Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. It is in the VOD request chat. Yeah, it's a good idea. Make sure you thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Alright, today, guys, we're gonna be... okay, so... who's your most comfortable hero? Okay. And where, I guess, well, for future... Where does Honor? Like, third, then, maybe? Oh, okay. Oh, you're trying to forget your roots. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, where are you now? Diamond or? Okay. I didn't know what team. Honestly, I don't know what Haunted is. So, like rank wise. Okay. So Necrology is he? Well, I'm assuming obviously he's got to be within the same rank as you, because you're playing. Okay. So specifically mechanics, correct? All right. Let's not go double speed. All right. So for Mercy, the reason, or I guess technically, is the damage boost and the res. The healing's kind of like more of a side note. So so since you have Ana and you're kind of running a poke heavy comp, you should be able to do a lot of damage boosting. And so like here, I mean, your team's taking a lot of poke damage, so it is a little bit tricky. Oh my god, can your team stop taking damage, please? Which is always going to be the challenge here. So what I like to do though, even just so like when I play Mercy, and the flipping between the healing and the damage boost is instant. So even if you could just get in like an absolute split second of damage boost, it's better than nothing at all. Also, gosh, it's a Junkrat, guys. Stop walking. So like here, like you're over healing. Like the Ana needs healing, but you're sitting there on the McCree who's at full health. So as you're flying towards the Ana, just be going over to the damage boost until you get to her. Also, just damage boost if you're in Valk. Yeah, unless you're going to go in, like, and try and grab a kill. Oh man, she's so far. Unless you're going to go in for a kill with the whatever your thing is, gun. Gosh. Then you might as well just come out with damage boost, because the ability for everybody to get the damage boost is way more important. Obviously you guys are going to win that fight, so you dying there isn't the worst thing in the world, but if we wanted to be like super picky, you should have just went up top to up here. Yeah. Now it's definitely like really picky, because you guys had clearly won that fight and they were not going to get in. So even right here, when you first went to that McCree, you were healing, even though he was full health. And even though it seems like just like a quick second, you should be just damage boosting. Your Ana, I don't want to say it's not your responsibility, but she's got to be, and I'm going to treat it like kind of just normal game sense. Your Ana should know not to just be walking up in there, just in standing in that alley or choke point for no reason. So you can actually, let me pause real quick. So like when you came in, you're kind of like hanging out here in the open, which is about like the worst thing you can do. Like the only thing it gave you was an access to both areas. Just come in tight up against this wall though, so like you're covered from up top, or if you're underneath the platforms, you're completely covered. And then that way you still have a little bit of access. But realistically, like your Ana just has to be smart enough to, and from a comp perspective, you can't control everybody else's brain. So just kind of, you kind of have to make a choice in that instance. Is it better to keep up 3 and damage boost 3 and just leave your Ana or not? They don't. Also, if you're kind of thinking about their comp as well, the only thing that they have to really push her would have been like the Sim or the Sojourn. And if you really want to back it up, we could like scout where they all are at. And in a team environment, you definitely should be calling out scouting stuff, so where everybody was. So you can say, all right, well, the 2 people who can push the Ana we'll just say they're up here, which means they're not gonna have the ability to push her. So you can just say, all right, she's gonna have to just walk up, and even though she's half health or critical, she'll be fine while you guys are coming up here and dealing with all this. Okay, and especially with the Mercy, you're really just kind of worried about poking. See, like here, coming back for the Ana, you kind of got hung up in that doorway, and it's way more important because if we look at what, how the hell did your Orisa get up there? Well, your Orisa way overextended, but yeah, your Sojourn did die. I want to rewind just a second. So where are we? So look, we want to figure out where do they die. So if we're he's probably gonna die here in a second here. So he pushed the res here, but if we take a look, like you're peeling back for the Ana, and unless the Sim unless Sojourn just ints on her, she's gonna be fine there, unless she's just gonna keep poking and die from a charge shot, which you can't control that anyway. So instead of trying to keep her up, then you kind of just go with here. Ana's, the Mercy, depending, hold on, how do I want to say this? You want to keep your support, should definitely keep other supports alive, or try and keep them up. But your job is to be more damage boosting than anything. And in the res factor, that tempo res, so like, well, actually, you don't have a choice in tempo res now because you can't mass res. But just resing one kind of in the mid fight, or your DPS up here is going to be more valuable. Or if you like, your Ana does die here, but you keep everybody else in the front, then everybody else can peel back, and whoever dove the Ana, or if she got dove, or for whatever reason, if they can get onto the person that killed the Ana, then you get the kill. You can res the Ana, but then you kept everybody else up. I'm using my hands, and you can't see my hands, but then you can use these people are up, and your Ana's down, but now you're up keeping them up, and say we'll just say that they win the fight up here, and then you can peel back, and if there's time you can get the res, and if not, then she walks back, but now you have all that space. Versus here, yeah. See, so they got the kill on the Mercy, but we're not up there to kind of do anything to help. So here, yeah. See, like all of this, like healing, just damage boost. Even just standing here should be damage boosting. Like you should just have blue beams all like going all the time. You cannot, you can't overheal as the Mercy. So damage boost as soon as it ticks up all the way. Damage boost. Yeah, and looking at like percentage of health too, so like right there, that was a good instance where technically the Arista could have used more healing, but the healing on the squishier DPS was way more important. So this, so be very careful about that spot, because you're kind of in a weird spot. So good damage boost there. Obviously you can't heal anti. I don't know, maybe not too risky. If you know that she just used charge shot, then you're fine to res that fast. Definitely don't want to make it a habit, like of insta resing basically, because then teams can just plan for that. Honestly, you guys shouldn't be in this fight. You should have backed out. So we'll call it a comp decision where it's like the rest of your team is still in, so you might as well stay in with the Valk because it is turnable. So that's a tough habit to like kind of pick and choose from, where in comp wise it might be a right decision, but in team play it wouldn't be. So see, now we're damage boosting, and Monkey's a really good damage boost target because he can get all that cleave on everybody. And switching between damage boosting and not damage boosting, your healing really isn't going to out heal a lot of damage. So you have to, sometimes it's even if they're critical, better just to get the damage boost to maybe they get a kill. Yeah, so the bridge right here is not a good call to stand on. Where you were at here is okay, because unless their sojourn's gonna like really come out here for you, you'll be fine. Assuming you're not gonna take a charge headshot. But being in here, you're just out in the open for anything. And again, you can't control your teammates. Your Ana should have never stood there. That's the thing too. This is a really hard habit, and that's why it's one of the hardest things about not being like a pro player, is that you can't just switch habits off. So like comp habits, actually I don't know, your Ana wasn't punished. She definitely should have been punished. She shouldn't be up there. So well, it's comp, and I'll just do the quote unquote right thing come team time, but then come team time all of your habits have been built off of comp. Now again, some people can act. So when it comes to that comp thing, it's what are you? Can you compartmentalize, that comp versus team stuff? And really, Mercy, like mechanically, it's not a whole lot mechanical. It's just kind of poking wise. Like see, like right here, the Bastion was doing the right thing and pushing in, but he wasn't getting any support here. Yogi also shouldn't have jumped in there, but as he's going in, look for that damage boost. Like damage boost all the time. Like here, we're over healing again. Just damage boost. We go for the res because they backed off, which is good. Yeah. See, like here, we're in Valk. Damage boosting a monkey's not really gonna do much. An ulting monkey, excuse me. So you should peel back for your or not peel back, but damage boost where you're gonna get value, which is gonna be that double DPS kind of little pod. Playing corners, definitely want to play corners. Good. So now you're definitely in a tough spot now. So you shouldn't be, and this isn't you, but your team with your team comp, you can't be poking because you're not gonna win that. And down in Ana. So while we need to be damage boosting, we can't because you don't have your Ana. And you're also just, I love Monkey, but you can't run Monkey into this on this point. So here, just damage booster back up. Okay, your Ana's right there, yeah. So we're just kind of chilling here, and we do have all of our ults from the DPS line, so they don't need like that charge, but every little bit of damage can just tick up unexpectedly. So here, damage boost, damage boost, damage boost. Yeah, see, so I call that preemptive healing. You want to get to the monkey to heal, but you're not at the monkey yet. So your brain is like, all right, I need to heal, but then you're not there in the ability to heal. Does that make sense? When it comes to contesting, specifically with abilities like Valk and stuff, just touching it off. So 3 seconds triggers your OT for stuff that has a time. So as soon as you pop the Valk at whatever it was, 50, I think it was like 5 seconds. Step So, and of course, like, you guys winning this fight is obviously extremely unlikely. So, like, here we pop Valk, we go in, so, alright, so right here, we touch point, we're gonna trigger OT, no matter what, because you touched. And 2 seconds, if you want to be safe, but even 3 seconds is good. And this is, in team play, this is where you're communicating, like, who's touching point, and I know it's comp, but we're gonna talk about team perspective real quick. So, you're down 2. You can even though we know you get the res here, let's just say you might get the res on the Cassidy. You're definitely not getting the res on the monkey. So you're in a 3v5, maybe a 4v5. So what is your win condition? Stalling until your monkey can get back, and your Sojourn hopefully popping off. So you can't do anything about the monkey coming back, and you can't do anything about the Sojourn hitting their shot. So the only thing you can do is contest the payload. So you touch here, and then you're in Valk. So, I mean, if you really wanted to get spicy, you could come up here. The Bastion has a better angle, but then you're shutting off the Sojourn. But you touch, you can also come back to here. So just wherever you're at, you're touching, and that bar, and you just time the bar when, excuse me, because the bar is going to go down in, yeah, see, the Sojourn. And that's the thing, too. The Sojourn contests. And in a comp perspective, they kind of felt like they probably had to. And actually, look, so your monkey's already back. And you're probably not going to win the fight. But if you can keep that contested and your Sojourn can stay back here, and you communicate that you're touching, then they can play a little bit safer. And you're going to see 9 more. That's just like the name of the game. When you play the precision game of when and what I can contest, you're going to see 9 more, but you're going to get way more overtime fights, and you're going to turn a lot more fights. That was the team that I was on. That Loki was our kind of calling card, where we just turned a lot of fights because we knew exactly how to contest. I don't know if you like to in comp. It's a tough call, to be honest. Let's be real. But what you can practice is, even if you're not on the mic, or even if you're just in the party with your duo, just practice like kind of the easy calls that you can, which, you know, I'm contesting point, or going for the res, or whatever it is, and just kind of act like you're in a team environment, and yeah, you guys are definitely gonna lose. But if you saw how slow the overtime bar creep down, you're gonna have forever to contest, especially in Valk. So you just touch it, you get off, touch it, you get off. And the way that you want to rotate is, tank is always first, and then from there, who's furthest from their ult. So like if you're playing, I don't know, like Zen Ana, and your Zen's at 95% and your Ana's at 5%. And so you send the Ana in on point, so Zen can maybe get his, and then that's how you can flip it, or kind of vice versa. And then from your tank, you want DPS and supports should always be last to contest, unless it's somebody like the Mercy and Valk who can just touch it and get off really easily. But all of that is way harder in comp, but it's just getting used to the calls and knowing here. So far, just a lot more damage boost. Positioning wise, nothing that sticks out to me so far. The biggest thing difference between positioning team and comp is that comp you can be a lot more lax. Like here, don't be standing there. Because someone could just pop around the corner on a Widow and just kind of kill him. So we're yeah, see now we're damage boosting. There we go. I would try. Honestly, I haven't played Mercy in Overwatch 2 like at all. So what I used to do in Overwatch 1 is I would aim for 1500 damage boost per round. So it was just a round number that worked for me. So what I would say is try and pick, just like as you're playing Mercy, just kind of get a goal number for damage boost. Or percentage-wise too. That actually might be an easier. See what percentage-wise you can get Mercy damage boost. If you're ever in a situation where you're like 70-30 healing, then you should probably just be on a different hero, because if you're not going to damage boost, then there's not really much value you're getting. Yeah, and that whole time that we were sitting there should be damage boosting. Not even counting the pistol, but so that was good shots on you up by your Zen. This comp as well is just gonna lack healing, you know, with the Zen Mercy. So what it lacks in healing, though, it makes up with that damage. So if you can get the Discord and a damage boost hitting the same target, they're just gonna get shredded. Like before they even can really realize what they're doing. When you're going around that corner right there, actually, that was another good spot where it just flicked to that damage boost, because the Ashe was. I want to pause it. Okay. So the Ashe was full health, but you still were connected to her going around the corner, and then you just flick over to the damage boost just a little bit. Right there is why we don't insta-res though, because just random bullshit, and it's a Junkrat, so you kind of have to expect random stuff coming in. So here, flicking, and especially as soon as we pop trans, you need to swap to damage boost. You are not going to kill a fortified Orisa with nano boost. So just might as well just damage boost. It probably doesn't make a difference in that fight, but you probably could have gotten your tank ult with a little bit of damage boost. And then we did pop Valk. I'm not Valk. I'm sorry. We did throw Bob in there as well. So maybe if your tank gets his ult, then he can pop that. And then we throw a Bob, and maybe we turn it there, but it's just more damage boost. Yep. Yeah. Don't assume people are gonna get hit before they are, because really, it's kind of a weird spot where it's kind of gonna one-shot them or not, if we're being honest. So just leave them to get one shot, and if you need to res them, you can. If not, then at least you're getting damage boost. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you're Zen. Who is he even orbing? Yeah, this is also a really hard position because your Zen's orb's kind of non-existent. So we're gonna be, yeah. So here we're just gonna be healing way more than we need to, because we're not, and you're not gonna be able to sustain over them, right? Because they have the Ana Mercy. So you should be damage boosting as much and everywhere as we can. Yeah, here, and actually depending on how the position is, so like your Zen right there, you get him topped up to like halfway, and he's not gonna get pushed by anybody, then just swap the damage boost or hop on somebody else. Because it's kind of a I don't want to say guessing game, but it's kind of just, you have to assume that your teammates have at least a slight intelligence, not to completely shit the bed if they're half health. And with how, again, with the Mercies, and it's all about just out damaging. Tier definitely, again, just damage boost. I will say the way that I interpret Mercy in my Mercy playstyle is not the bloodthirsty one. It's definitely the support Mercy, and not even just like a heal perspective. Like I love damage boosting. Yeah, kind of just put yourself in a weird spot. And somebody, there we go, okay. Yeah, good, preemptive jump. I don't know why your whole team jumped with you. Damage boost though, damage boost. That was not necessary. Yeah, especially where your Zen was, that's a perfect example. If he takes that and dives to it, then you have a res that's pretty off to the side. When you have spots like this, if you start looking at ult charge within a fight that you should have won, or you are winning, so you can say that, you know, we have Sojourn ult, but we don't have Zen or Ashe ult. So you can pocket them, like look to pocket them more damage boost wise, so they can get that ult up faster. Actually, your tank is an even better spot because he's at 80. Get that damage boost onto him, get that up to 95, and then swap and pocket kind of the others. Yeah, I'd be very cautious about going in there. Yeah, you kind of got caught a little bit. And when you hear that Bastion too, and this is more of your team thing, but if you hear the Bastion pop his turret form, just wait for the turret to die, and then you just push it with Valk off of that. So, I would say the biggest thing is just a lot more damage boost. And feel free to stop me and like questions or anything. Yeah, and you know, and what I said earlier, numbers-wise, I don't think Overwatch 2 doesn't track the pure numbers, does it? It just tracks the percentage, right? Yeah, I don't even know if it tracks the number anymore. So it might just be a percentage thing. If you're ever dipping below, then you definitely should be on. There you go. Then you definitely should be on over here. Same with Lucio. If you're finding yourself healing in the percentage wise way more than speeding, then you might as well just go on another hero, because you can heal and get way more value with a Moira as a group or individually as the Ana. So, oh yeah, okay, you're still with Necro. So for the Ana, you just again just wanted to get some like VOD stuff. Okay. Gotcha. So first of all, positioning. This is a comp position. You're setting up to poke. You should be back here. You don't have to be on the top, but you shouldn't be up there. With Ana and Zen, the only thing keeping you alive is your positioning. Technically, Ana has sleep, but it's your positioning. You need to make it as absolutely hard as possible to get to you. If they have, and obviously we can see what they have, but if they have Monkey or Diva, just literally anything that can dive, this dive is so much easier than this dive. From a comp perspective, your Rhine is pushed up here, but even all the way up there, you're gonna have a pretty good angle on him as long as he backs up just a little bit. He also should be smart enough to realize that he's not running Brawl DPS, so he can't be brawling 24/7 there. So, we're just off the rip position. Gotta stay back. So I don't like up here, but that is another spot that you can do. And on top of making it difficult to get to, you're gonna have more escapability. Up here, you really only have one direction, maybe two, but 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna be able to jump down forward or off to the side. Versus back here, not only is it harder to get to, but you can jump forward and down to get to the health pack. You can jump off to the right, and then actually you can go up there. You can do a big loop. You can drop and reposition, and this is a long reposition, but you can come behind here and reposition all the way over here if you need to. So it's kind of like playing chess with what is my next move, instead of just right now, where do I want to poke? It's like poking wise, this is easier, but then it makes it a lot harder down the road. So kind of just poking around. So if you should be able to see their comp at this point. You're looking for anti on the Mauga and the Bastion. That was a really good one. I'm not sure if you realized how low they were, but that's a perfect example. And comp-wise, you're not going to be able to plan it that well 99% of the time. But that anti into the Fire Strike on low targets was perfect because there's nothing they can do unless they have like a Kiriko or a Bab, which they do have a Kiriko, but you know they're not fast enough in that instance. Again, positioning-wise, we're here. Just might as well just be back here. You're gonna be way safer. And they just swapped to the Hanzo. But if they were on the Hanzo, you're opening yourself up to just even a lucky headshot. That's what I say with, especially with snipers. They don't have to be good. They just got to be lucky. And if they're lucky and they hit just one headshot, then you're dead. And actually, see, yeah, right there. There we go. That's perfect. I mean, not, but in theory. So, if he comes around a corner, if you're up here, then you just actually you have a pole. You don't even have to back up technically, but you could back up. If you're back up all the way here on the floor, I just prefer up top. You have more choices. But even if you're on the floor, you're safe. Even if you're back here, you're gonna be safe. You want to be somewhere, not nowhere. So right there, you're kind of just nowhere. Also, your Mercy should have resed you, but that's. Yeah, it's all, and it's a weird kind of dichotomy where tank is the most important, supports, and then DPS, which it's kind of weird because you want to get kills, but if you can keep your tank up, you're gonna win way more often. So right here, your DPS are just kind of fragging out here, which is good. And now, do we make any adjustments too? And positioning wise as well, that's part of it, where we might say this is a great neutral positioning, but let's just say they're running I don't know, Sombra Wrecking Ball, and the Sombra's like living in your backline. So now, even though neutral positioning this is good, now maybe you're saying, all right, well, now it's not as good because I can get pushed from behind like super easily. So now I do need just to come up forward. So it's not, it's not a one size fits all, but when you don't know what they're running, you kind of just assume and kind of pick the safest of all the options. But so like right here, you can throwing out your nade like that isn't it's not a really big deal because they're gonna have to wait for it to wash out, and by that time you should have your back on cooldown. But some people like to be a little bit more particular about it. See, that's how the first one should have gone. But actually, hold on. Positioning wise, this is how the first one should have gone when the Bastion pushed you. But with safe positioning means you can save your cooldowns, right? So when we get to it, I'm gonna go at half speed. Just so I can pause when you get it. Okay, so you're gonna get blown up. And actually, okay, so you get blown up into safe positioning. Like you're 162 health. You're totally fine. There's nothing that's gonna be able to get to you. So instead of instantly nading, just save your nade and again position. I'm gonna hammer on position. That's my thing. So right here, if you really want to get, you got a health pack right there. If not, you're just gonna get the passive, and you've gotten kills already, so you're not under any direct pressure. So save your cooldown. And here, positioning wise, you can. Sorry, I should have paused it. Alright, so right here, you don't have an angle, here you do. And you're still going to be safe on that Bastion over there. So you're not having to actually change anything. And you're not having to put yourself in harm's way. So here you're creeping up to get on the or get an angle on him, and you the Bastion should have been looking at you. He didn't, so you know you're not dead, but he definitely should have. If you realized he was there, also just throw a sleep on him. It's actually why it's really dangerous to poke tight angles, like doorways, is that if you just throw it in the doorway and you're gonna hit if he's got a big meaty health hitbox, so. So, man, a lot happened right here. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's set for a minute. Just because, if I'm being honest, I'm just lazy, and for when I cast things, they have to be delayed, and I don't want to not do it because I'm just lazy. All right, so you pushing out. What the rule that I always said, especially as tank, is that it's not the support's job to get in position for me. It's my job to get into position for them. So pushing out to help the Rhine, I don't like it, but we're in comp. We're not in a team. So pushing out, you're trying to keep the Rhine up. As soon as you see him kind of start immediately trying to move back, you should be matching that. So like you let him get really close to you before you back up. So back up sooner, and also he shouldn't just pushed out that far because we're in comp. But we're in comp, so you do push out that far by yourself. When you hear, okay, you can't do anything about the cage. I mean, there's really nothing you can do. Okay, hold on. The only thing you could do is basically just walk in and sleep the Malga and just pray that your teammates don't wake him up. He's gonna get woken up, so there's not really anything you can do. And you just don't have the damage to break the cage fast enough. If you had, yeah, technically hopping, but yeah. If you had nade, then pushing in, you can get the nade and the sleep. You might, and by might I mean very unlikely, but maybe you keep people up here. I highly doubt it. The dragons, it's kind of hard because you don't know where it's going to come, but most people at this point know not to throw it at people, and you got to throw it kind of projectile where people you think are going to go. So just assume that it's going somewhere where it's like that's that mind game. All right, they think I'm going to go here, so I need to not go here. But if we have our positioning all the way back here, then we're safe from the dragons. You're still going to lose the fight because of cage, and unless everybody just into the cage, and so it's like a 5v1 in the cage for you guys. Cages is just a really good ult, especially when catching people out of positioning here. So we're kind of trading. You gotta be so careful when you're not that you're poking here, but poking without your tank. Because even if he's not on a shield tank, the tank should be demanding attention. So here we're just poking. We're poking. If we want to say mechanically, just hit the shot and you kill the Bastion, then sure. But I'm not really. That's not really helpful. Just poking, we're poking. And actually, this position is really good, right? You are so far back that you have nothing that's going to touch you very easily. You have a ton of different options to back up. No, I mean, that was a good nano. I didn't hate the nano. That's more on your Reinhardt. Just because he's nano, it's not invisible, but he played like he was. That was weird looking. So here, you just gotta be so careful. Okay, and then you go and do that. Okay, hold on. I was about to say, you gotta be so careful up here because you can accidentally fall down, and then you just kind of jumped down anyway. Definitely don't do that. If you want to, for whatever reason, drop down, then your better bet is to come over here. And your even better bet is to come all the way over here. Now that's going to take, you know, a significant amount of time. So comp perspective doesn't work as much, but team perspective, you're communicating like, hey, I'm rotating, and your team should respond and stop poking. Or if they do poke and they die, then, well, that's on them. And you did your job as communicating. And that's, in Overwatch, I think I'm going to steal this from Jane. I think it was Jane. But information is OP. Out of everything in Overwatch, information is OP. So if you give your team the information that I'm rotating, which basically means they're out of, in this case, Ana. They're out of Ana heals. So from there, it's on them not to play dumb and poke. You dropping down right here just limits you in everything that you do. Like, you're not going to be able to support up here, and you only have the choice down here. Up here, you still have both of those choices. And let's just say you guys killed the Mauga and the Hanzo, and now you can start taking pot shots up there. But here, you're kind of just locked in place. You also should just win the fight, though, with how down they are. That so right there, you kind of actually it kind of goes back to a little bit of our damage boosting, where you right there you're going for the kill instead of just outright healing, which I think is the right call, because you had him so low. That's why Mauga is so tricky though, just because of how beefy he can be. I will say you definitely got lucky there. They should have pushed you, and should have definitely have killed you. That's a good job keeping your Reinhardt alive. No offense to your DPS, but it really doesn't matter if they're alive and your Rein's dead. So that's the right call. Just pocket him all the way. Oh, all the way back to your nano. That's why communication is so effective, though. You can call that you can't reach, and your tank also should be aware that you can't reach him from this far away. But in comp, you can't assume that. But he should know that he can't reach you from this far away, and he should plan for that. Here, oh gosh, you're killing me. All right, so we definitely walked in there without a plan. Am I correct? Okay. we need a plan. Ana and Zen definitely have to have the plan. I don't know what happened to your nade, but it looked like it hit something that, like, it should have been way more effective. Yeah. So right there again. So our positioning is just so pushed up that the Reaper should not have pushed you in that instance, but he had a chance to. And you can play that you're always going to hit your sleeps, or you can kind of play more of like a worst case scenario where I'm not going to hit any, and then I do have my sleep though, you know. And from their perspective right there, because that Reaper pushed out, he couldn't touch and get this point. Dun, 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 dun. While we're going here though, when in that last fight, that whole time, you could have been. I wouldn't be here, but this is a safer spot because you're closing off the whole left side. Even if you want to get back here, I don't think you didn't have a way to get up on top of on top of the jail is the best place, but yeah, you don't have anywhere to get up there. So I would pick any of those spots versus just out in the open. Again, especially with that Hanzo and even Ashe. You don't have to be good; you just gotta be lucky.
Stay close. I can't heal you if you stray.
With the combo of the Mercy Ana, okay, well not Moira, but Mercy Ana, you kind of it's not a catch-all be-all, but you can kind of split. Ana heals the tank, Mercy heals the DPS, because she's going to be more than likely damage boosting that anyway. You're more than likely Yeah, Moira's I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why they would pick that in this instance, but from your perspective, just kind of still do what you do anyway. Like you're pocketing the tank, and the Moira handles kind of DPS. Yeah, I would have backed up way sooner, and this is again what I'll call like comp game sense, where your Moira is just she's just not backing out all the way because people really don't, and so you're up there because you see it as your job to not let her die. You didn't die, but if they definitely could have pushed you up. And now because you don't have your healer, you don't have your Moira with you, you're kind of poking at the Brig, and your Rhine died. You also could have just ignored the Brig. She wasn't a threat. Like unless you get a sleep on her and call out that you got a sleep on her. Actually, I'm gonna pause again. So right here, again, this is comp resetting because they should be pushing out and killing all of you guys that are just kind of standing out here. So again, it's a tough habit, and maybe you can just flip that switch, but just back out all the way. And even in the higher ranks, even in comp, people are going to start pushing out more and more, and as they should, because every kill that you get is going to it takes 20 seconds away. Remember, the defenders don't have to win every fight. They just have to stall. And if they can stall enough, then you're going to lose. So they don't push out, so you're fine. Yeah, so, yeah, not really much you can do with the Moira. This angle is not great because of how tight it is, and with the Junkrat in particular, you are putting yourself in a tight perspective. Sorry. So yeah, so when you're back here, the Junkrat can easily just keep you completely out of the fight. Even the Malga just tickling you and catching you on fire is gonna stop you from moving anywhere. So that's just kind of a really bad spot to go in. For the man, that cage is a tough one. So you get the nano on him before he gets anti-ed, which is good. So right here, alright, so your Sojourn's going up top. You're kind of again in the middle of nothing. So with just your Rhine in here, you have the nano on him. Even if you get in there, you're not going to be able to, heal him because of the anti. So you're way better off just waiting and kind of hoping. Maybe the DPS can focus the shield enough that maybe it'll break. I highly doubt it, but that's more a possibility than you getting in there and doing anything. So I would just, and here you're rotating into nothing. So not even talking about like as you're walking forward, when you were just walking to the side, like you can't outflank the cage. So you might as well just play it safe. If you're gonna go anywhere, it'd be better to come back here. And you should, I think you die here, right? Like this. Yeah, I mean, you technically hit your target, which was the ground, but and the timing for you was unfortunate because you nanoed before they really went all in, but your Sojourn popped third rolled way later, so you should be going in here with 2, which should be enough to win the fight. With Shadow, you still have the bigger advantage, but it's, can you get anybody down that's actually going to be killable? Yeah, that's a communication thing where either you need to be calling out that you don't have eyes up top, or you're back and you're. It's a team thing, but you need to be communicating if you have eyes up there, and that way Sojourn can get up there more aggressively, or if you say that you don't have eyes up there, maybe they don't go up there at all, or they wait a second, and then your BAP. I don't know why he's lamping that. So just ignore the brig. Gotta check your feet. You're much better off there just holding your anti and trying to get it the nade onto your Rhine. I'm assuming you call it your sleeps, right? Like when you sleep people. Okay. So definitely should be calling out your sleeps, and in this case, back up a little bit more. Yeah, so we're checking our feet. So we get to sleep. And that's why junk is so difficult, because it just takes once. It just takes one trap, and it doesn't matter if you check it every single other time. It just takes that one time. Now that I see that your Rhine is antied, I still wouldn't. Yeah. So he's dead actually before you even get in there. I still wouldn't hit the Junkrat because you have the. Where's your Hanzo? Your Hanzo can one-shot him on the floor. So we're gonna pretend we're in a team. So you call out your sleep, and then either A, it's to ignore him, or B, it's to kill him. So instead of just wasting a nade on a target that can't move, you're gonna get a shot, assuming you hit him. But if he's sleeping, we're gonna assume that you do. You're gonna get a shot here. Bare minimum, your Hanzo should get a body shot, and then your BAP's right there. So he's gonna die without the nade, and then your nade is available to whatever you want to do. You aren't gonna keep your Rhine up here, obviously. But if you have it, then you can throw it on there and deter them from kind of pushing up onto you guys. A minute 15 left. You need to be resetting. You lost your tank. A tank for DPS is not a good trade. The tank is obviously way more. This is comp where your BAP should be just resetting because he's not getting out. So you should just let him reset, even if he's screaming for heals. In a team perspective too, we'll say like he pushed up here, you gotta let him die. When you're looking for a reset, you just stop healing. Just completely stop healing. Unless you're contesting the objective, this is definitely more defense. But unless you're contesting the objective and actually achieving something with it, then don't heal. Just go for a kill. Obviously, you don't have any like cooldowns here to really help you do that part. But either go for a kill or just get out of dodge. Hollywood is hard because you can't just jump off the map in that aspect. So you have to find a different way to do it. Forcing the kill onto somebody else will make them kill you. It's from a defender, you can just sit on the objective and they have to kill you to progress it. But as the attacker, you have to try and force something else to do it. So again, and as don't ever go for the tank because they never have to kill you. Always definitely want to like pick a squishy or something that you can actually do have a chance to. So, but here, yeah, I would say there's even if you hit your shot there, he's dead. So this really shouldn't be you. Oh no, that was your Junkrats. You shouldn't be pushing up past this corner. You do get to kill here, but let's just say they get a random soldier like burst onto you, or even your Hanzo, and now you guys are even again. Your diva is literally right here, so just wait that half a second for them to get up here, and now you're in a 4v3 with good positioning instead of a 3v3.5 with like bad positioning. And you're a support. You are the last person that you want up front. So your diva did their job pushing that soldier ult here. So, but you saw how low that you got. Wow. And actually, that's a perfect example. Your diva got bursted that fast after their after Dean went out. So you could have been bursted so easily. For here, not good positioning because you guys are gonna lose fight. So I'm just gonna move here. I know you got booted up here, but just drop back down because here you're exposing yourself to the soldier that was up there, and now the Junkrat just has to hit this giant orange platform. Versus here, he's got to like actually aim, sort of. So from from that BAP dying so late earlier, now you guys have 10 seconds here. I'm gonna assume that you don't touch. Maybe you do. Alright, no spoilers. So we'll put 20 seconds on, even though in theory there should be more time with your BAP dying. So now you're in a way better position to kind of go in for a recontest. Should be on you though. Yep, too far. Oh no, yeah, you're definitely good. So here you nano boost for them going in. Yeah. No, well, no. I'm not hating on that nano. I was more looking at time-wise, but I'm getting lost in the sauce because that's on the diva. With the if they didn't have the brig, then she could wait to go in here, your diva. But with the brig, you gotta have to plan that they might get a boop off. I like the nano. Obviously, you can't take it with you, and you don't have a choice. You have to win this fight. So, and she's going on to the point, and you kind of have to assume when she goes in, you're gonna lose sight of her. You might be able to get into it, but I highly doubt it. I'm just gonna play it out for a second here. So you hear the tire. So where's your BAP? So if you hear the tire, you kind of have a couple of choices, right? So you know your BAP is right next to you, and the worst thing that could happen is you both die. So you definitely don't want to both be right up there. So I would suggest just spreading out. So this is communication. If your BAP goes to the right, then you come here. If your BAP's confident that he can get a tire, or get his lamp down, then well that kind of depends on how trustworthy he is. Well, I like to say in a team, if your teammate calls it out, then you just trust. And because if we're not trusting of our teammates, then we might as well just go back and play comp by ourselves. So trust that if he calls it out that he has it or he's going to use it, just trust that he has it right there. He didn't die though, luckily, but he definitely could have. So I mean I don't think you guys are going to win this, but maybe with that window. No, not enough. Big tire. Nope. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Questions. Did you have any questions for me? No, you're good. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. For Mercy too, I think it's really easy to just kind of zone out if we're being honest. So it's kind of part of honestly part of the challenge is just making yourself be overly active almost. So just, I mean, constantly just flicking back and forth. Now, to be fair, if I just like accidentally queued into comp and I got a game super fast, sometimes I just pick Mercy so I don't have to put any like actual thought into it. But if we're actually trying our hardest here, definitely want to be like flicking constantly, especially call. I don't know how much calls you like to do, if you do any at all, but Mercy is a really good hero to make calls on because you don't have as much demanding. You have a good, view of the battlefield. You can kind of bounce around all over the place. So definitely work on your calls too. If you do like making calls, if you don't, if at the range that you're out, if you don't like making calls, don't force yourself. It for when it comes to calls, I was a shot caller, so it just comes naturally to me. But when it comes to calls, what I like to say is, especially as you're learning a hero, just call whatever, and eventually you'll figure out what's actually useful. So I mean, if you just Roadhog left, that's like there you go. That's a call. If you're on Lucio, um, I have amp or I don't have amp. It's which seems like, well, that's kind of dumb, but you start out dumb and then you get more specific and you get into the more nitty gritty details of it. But even simple um, like I don't have amp or I don't have boop, I'm resetting, I'm taxiing someone back from spawn, just anything and everything, whether it's dumb or not, and then you can kind of pick and choose um, what you want to call from there. Um, yeah, going back though, so with the Ana positioning wise too, um, it's not. Do you play Zen at all, or just more Ana? I was gonna say if you Zen is an even better um, positioning wise, because Ana does have her nade and she does have the sleep, so she has a little bit of escape, like a little bit of oh shit moments to get out. But like Zen, you don't have any of that. Unless you're gonna like just 1v1 everybody that comes up on you, your positioning has to be pretty impeccable there. So if you're ever curious, like if you ever just want to challenge yourself, um, I'm not saying in comp or just kind of whenever, if you're just playing quick or something, just go Zen and try and think about like how much your positioning matters in that instance. So the biggest thing, and I've said it a bunch here today, but it's that comp mind perspective versus the team, like in a team perspective. You know, you're gonna get punished more in a team environment. You're also gonna have better plays from a team perspective, but you're gonna be pushed and punished a lot more because the supports are really important and they're way easier to kill than a tank. So you got to make it absolutely as hard as possible to get to you, and then make adjustments off of there. Your tank, it's not your tank's job to get healed by you. Like positioning wise, you should have. They should know where you're set up, and actually this is a call out thing too. Just say, hey, I don't have LOS, or you do. It gives them information, and then they can make a decision off that information. In Lucio as well, there's a lot of mechanic things that go into Lucio, but just simple like I don't have amp or I do have amp. That's kind of like that's your beginning, you know, which you got to start somewhere with it. Um, there was something else, but I completely forgot it by now. Oh, agreeing or disagreeing with what I said. Disagree all you want. Like, it's not. Overwatch is not a do this win type of game. You know, there's varying perspectives and there's varying opinions on basically everything. So I definitely don't want to feel you like I'm the dictator and you do everything that I say. You know, it's I'm gonna see some stuff that you didn't see. Shoot, you're gonna see some stuff that I didn't see. That's kind of like, you know, that's just kind of how it goes. So I will never be upset if you disagree with something that I say, as long as you know we're. Yeah, it is it's like it's easy to just like kind of zone out. That's my zone out hero. If I just want to kind of just exist in Overwatch, I just kind of pick Mercy in that. But and she's one of those characters in comp way and actually really every character is, but in comp way easier than in a team environment. So it's and to be honest, Mercy definitely gets less played in teams than in comp, but kind of just a personal thing. I would say, and when it comes to playing in teams though, try and play and stick with what you're comfortable. Um, it's way better if we fit the comp around the players versus fit the players into the comp. So you know if like if we're trying to get it as a Lucio and we're just like the two supports don't play Lucio like at all, but one of them plays Juno. It's not a one for one, but we get a little speed boost. We're sorta, saying like, all right, I don't play Ana, but I can play, something else that I can play the Kiriko that provides not the same utility, but it provides like specific utility. So just like I would say, I mean, never hurts to learn a new hero with that, but don't you don't want it to be to the point like as a detriment to your other stuff. And we're here to have fun, you know. Nice. Mm, yeah, that's a strange choice. um, well, so sidebar, the college team, like it's just like there's no limits to the rank, right? It's just everybody, or okay, okay, gotcha. Okay, that was cool. That's cool then. All right, well, I don't think I could blab all day. So, um, did you have anything you wanted to go with, or? Yeah, it's in. Even if I give you the same stuff you would have noticed, sometimes it's just easier to hear it from somebody else, you know. Oh, for sure, yeah, and the nuances of Overwatch get so easily lost. Um, and every there's just so many different things in Overwatch. It is really a um, crazy detailed game. So, like I said, though, if we ever, always feel free to disagree and do all that stuff. So, that's all I got. You're welcome. Well, Key, I'll see you guys, or talk to you later, or VOD later, or whatever it is.